Yo, what's going on, homies? It is your big homie Kodak, a very special edition of the Big Homie's House. Got some special homies in the building. Boy, I know you a long time. Pastor George Worrell is in the building, kicking with your homies for the first time.
What's happening?
Welcome.
First time.
Yes, first time. You know, things have to make sense. It's not on my timing, it's on God's timing. And speaking of God's timing, it's real churchy in here. We got Kevonstage. Kevonstage is in the building, kicking with your homie.
Yes, sir.
I like it. I like that, man. What's going on? What brings you to my city?
Chilling, man. I came to promote my book, talk about Churchy, and just whatever y'all want to talk about, wrestling.
Yeah, we can talk about a lot of different
whatever
things.
y'all want to do.
We can talk about a lot of different things. Let's kick things off on the porch. We talk about things going on in pop culture and society.
Sure.
And man, you know what? I don't like how everybody get on Shannon Sharp.
You don't like that?
I don't like it. I feel like people are dogpiling him at this point. Okay, I feel like 1 week of roasting, internet roasting was good enough.
Nah, he can get a little bit more.
Oh my goodness,
he get a little bit more.
A little bit more.
He didn't listen. We saw Cat Williams try to tell him.
Yeah.
Monique tried to tell him. Lil Yachty tried to tell him. Lil Yachty young, yes. He's like, yeah, at a certain age, you a little creepy, man.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, man, I ain't gotta go do what I gotta do. You know? And now look. So he can take a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's gonna be all right. And also Shannon, when it was somebody else's turn, he took his shots.
He did.
It's his turn now.
It's the nature of the business.
It's the nature of the business. If it was me, he wouldn't let me off the hook.
Don't tell me.
If there was jokes to be made. If it was you, you be big homie Kodak ain't know what he supposed to do. You know he ain't supposed to do what he supposed to do. So absolutely, nah, man. Give him about 2 more weeks. It'll be okay.
2 more. So at what point is it like, okay, guys, enough? Leave him
When
alone.
there ain't no more funny jokes left. Man.
And it's gonna be a long time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long.
Yeah,
It's gonna
never
be a
let this
long
down,
day.
man. You were absolutely, and this has been like almost it's been a thing with him.
Yeah.
It was the Instagram live. It was the first thing. It's the history of violence here.
That is what I will say. I think people forget about the lore of Shannon Sharp, but I've been on the internet long enough to remember when Shannon Sharp used to make memes of himself and say, "Who put me on this?
Yeah.
Who did this to me?"
Exactly.
Shannon
You know
Sharp
what it is.
he's always had like a look like he wants to be cool.
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp, but
Little bit
he
too
never
hard.
needed to do that. Like, brother, you're a 3-time Super Bowl winner.
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You do not have to do these things.
No, you don't.
But I think like that's where we are, like as a culture, as in like society. Like people try to fit in.
Yeah.
When you don't, you're not supposed to fit in. You're not supposed to be like us.
You don't have
Please
to, man.
leave
Like,
Twitter for us.
be who you are, and you don't ever have to worry. I think people just don't be settled enough to be who they are if everybody don't like them. But it's not possible.
Yeah.
Everybody never gonna like you. So just, and I'm learning too. I'm speaking to myself as well.
Yeah.
But you can't live your life like that. You 50 plus, man.
Yeah.
Like Monique said, get you an old gal who know how to bake cakes and
Sit down.
spot
Get you
signs
an
of a
old lady
stroke.
that can notice the signs of a stroke.
Of a
sir.
stroke, man. Sit
Because-
down. These people are children.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, man. No, he'll be okay.
As a man who lives by himself, that'd be the biggest worry about me. Like, if I kick the bucket in here, ain't nobody gonna find me for at least a week.
You mean tell me ain't nobody gonna check on you for a whole week?
Man, listen,
That's
my mama
crazy.
maybe my mama gonna expedite the process.
No, mama
Right?
definitely coming.
She's coming. But outside of that, if she's on vacation, my mama going to Italy. She's outside.
Yeah.
So no, I might not be. Like, okay, but listen, another thing we gotta talk about in the reports. Donald Trump coming for Charlemagne the God. Like, I don't know what was said. I don't know what Charlemagne did to initiate it, but all I know is I'm on Charlemagne's side. We're on the side of culture.
Then the president should be doing presidential duties. That should never be something you even spend a tweet about.
Yeah.
You supposed to be running the country.
Yeah.
How? I mean, and Charlemagne's he's a big personality. I'm not saying
he's the big
he's
personality.
a big personality,
Yeah,
but
sure,
like,
definitely.
bro, you supposed to be negotiating tariffs and trade deals. We got covert operations going on, and you like the thing about Charlemagne that I hate, brother. You ain't got a briefing.
Listen,
There ain't a briefing on your desk.
Yeah.
like, talk about this new World movies or something.
Man.
that shit was awful.
Yeah,
Did you
do
see
some
it?
politics. For sure.
What? Yes.
I didn't see. I
Did
just
you see the World's movie?
I have not seen that.
Please do not waste your time.
I
That
will
is
not.
the worst movie I have. Like, I'm not even not even being facetious. Top 3 worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Like just not like I'm leaving room because I don't want to say the worst because I saw this movie called Rubber about a killer tire. Like maybe 10 years ago, a killer tire. But it was a good bad movie.
Yeah, yeah.
War of the Worlds with Ice Cube. Was just bad. It was a bad movie, and it was kind of like
I seen them post something about that.
Yeah, it has a 0 rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
I did see that. He had like some glasses on or something.
Yes, and the entire movie exists on the screen. There's no real action.
I heard they shot it during the pandemic, and that's part of the reason why that shooting style of this
should have went the way of the pandemic. It should have ended when the pandemic ended. And say, you know what? We're outside. It's like inviting me to Clubhouse.
Yeah.
In 2025. Brother, I don't need this right now. We don't need to do this.
Clubhouse gone.
Clubhouse isn't. The only person on Clubhouse is Whack 100.
Is it still on?
Whack the only one on?
Whack is just Whack 100.
I didn't know anybody was on it at all. I thought it was like ceased to exist.
It's still up there.
It's still up there?
Clubhouse still exists. For the people that's on, shout out to the people that's on Clubhouse. Ask for them green beans, okay?
Hey.
Once outside, open back up. Hey, why am I gonna sit on this phone and yell at people?
Yeah,
boy, that was the capping central.
The pandemic though, it opened up a lot of people had to tap into some different realms though. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because we were put up in the house.
Yeah,
you had to really tap in for real. And if you really did though, you're glad you did because
1,000%.
You definitely was working during the pandemic.
Absolutely, I was on Clubhouse capping too.
I mean, wasn't playing no game.
No man, we got to get after it. That was my man.
Do you feel like you found your momentum during the pandemic?
I mean, I don't know about momentum. I've just always kind of been working and moving and trying to be doing the thing that the thing is. You know what I mean? So if we can't go outside, how can I entertain you? You know, podcasts were great. We was on, Zooms and StreamYard went up crazy.
StreamYard
Clubhouse,
was crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Moan rooms. I don't know if y'all remember they had the moan rooms.
I was on there for the night of the original moan room. And I was so shocked. Like, where are those people? We need to know where are they now for the original. As a matter of fact, I saw a documentary on like the guy who said that he wanted to storm Area 51. That's on Netflix right now. We need a documentary on the fucking moan room on Clubhouse. Because what in your mortal mind made you say, you know what?
Now I'm not familiar, but okay.
The moan room in Clubhouse. People, I think they had
like a moan.
People was in there moaning.
Really moaning.
Really
in their phone.
They was having a moan off.
Jesus. We need to come to Jesus.
I did a moan room for Jesus.
Yeah, you did
on there. I said, you got to pray.
That was your chair for the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, that's what you got to chair. I said, we got to get in here and clean this up.
We got to clean this up.
Clubhouse, the Lord ain't pleased with these moaning. Y'all don't love them.
Oh my God. You know what? Speaking of the Lord, all right, let's give it up for the BET Award winner for Best Gospel Album, Glorilla. And let's slide into my facts or cap of the day. Facts or cap. Should Glorilla have won a gospel award at the BET Awards?
I'm going to yield to Kel first. I'm going to yield to Kel.
Then I'm going to
What was the award for? Remind me.
I think it was Best Gospel
Song?
Yeah, it's gospel something. If something Glorilla shouldn't have been winning.
Here's the thing. I want people to remember the award shows, the BET Awards specifically, these are, I don't want to say popularity contests, but they are designed to get people talking.
Yeah.
Right? So I think you also want to give an award away to somebody that's going to come. You're making a TV show. Yeah. So if you're a producer of TV and you have a chance to give an award to Glorilla or somebody else,
Ty Tribbett.
Yeah. Now, I'm as the producer of the show. I'm not speaking as Kev.
Yeah.
As producer of the show, like Glorilla for gospel art, yes.
Yeah, run that.
Because that's going to be on Shade Room and Hollywood Unlocked, and people going to make a fuss about it. They're going to talk about my TV program.
Yeah.
But as a consumer of gospel music, obviously you would want the traditional gospel music to receive those awards. But I like Glorilla. Yeah. And what's going to happen?
Yeah.
If she wins that award?
I don't know. They canceled the hip hop awards, so I don't know. Maybe that's what happened.
It just happened all out of a sudden. I didn't even know it was on the chopping block.
I didn't know it was a consideration.
BET Award and the Soul Train Award.
Yeah, and Soul Train Award. Maybe that's what happened with Glorilla won the gospel. That's what we get.
But I'm glad that she did win though, because I think it did start a conversation that needs to be had
about what is gospel.
Yeah, what is gospel? You know, and then the monetization of gospel. You know what I'm saying? Because I think what's his name? Pastor John
P.
Not
that's the only John.
Not John B. Key, but not him. Anyway, I come back to it. He was talking about how concerts, how they charge for concerts and different things like that. But I think back to my original point. I think it leads us to a conversation to be had. What is gospel?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Is there a gatekeeping to the gospel industry? Because the gospel, it can't be the gospel if they're not talking about the gospel.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So are we calling this gospel music or is this inspirational music? Just like a sermon, you can't call it a sermon. Line. You can't. It is, but I mean, we talking about the church though. Yeah. All right, just like a sermon. Okay, a sermon is only a sermon if it convicts you. Yeah. All right. If it doesn't convict you, it can't be called a sermon. It's an inspirational message. That's the line.
What if you just don't want to be convicted? You should be like, man, nah, you was good, but I'm finna do what I was doing.
It's the word, and that can be there, but the word is the one that's gonna judge.
That's the line,
word is the one, not the person that's delivering the word. The word itself.
The word is the line then,
for sure.
Because I do feel like there is a big difference, and it's kind of a thin line between there, but it is a difference between something being inspirational and being gospel. And I feel like a lot of like the churches now, they lean more towards inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the modern churches.
The question that got to be asked, Kodak, is this, homie. If Jesus showed up today, would he recognize the churches that we have out here right now? My answer probably would be probably not. Because it's like they willing to do too much in the name of filling up seats.
They want to be popular.
Yeah, not powerful.
Ooh.
I want the power.
Yeah.
Not the popularity, because everything that's popular ain't powerful, and everything that's powerful ain't popular. There was a season when Kel wasn't popular. Always been powerful though.
You better. That pastor, he done locked in.
Is he locked in?
His voice came in. And once he did this, I said, "Oh boy,
he been like this since he was 12."
Oh man, he really locked in with the hand clasp.
I'm serious though. That's the question that got to be asked, and that's because I'm the streets pastor.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I relate to a lot of people that's from the streets, and they're asking questions like. These are certain conversations. These are barbershop conversations. These are hair salon conversations. This is what's going on in the hood. This is what they talking about, and this is what is coming back to me. So what is the gospel? What is the church? And so it's a bigger conversation to be had, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
I like that. Okay, well, that can lead me into my next Facts or Cap question. Facts or Cap, everybody involved. Do you feel like the traditional values of the church has kind of pushed people away in 2025, like from the modern way that we do church?
How so?
Because a lot of the things, like one thing that I've seen in churches is that it's very judgmental. And I don't think this generation of people is open to being judged. So it's like, well, if y'all gonna talk about me here, I might as well not even go. Because I'm gonna be honest. Last time I went to church was probably earlier this year. It was actually the first Sunday of January. I went with my mom.
Okay.
But it's just different. I feel like I have a more personal relationship with God than I had when I was younger. Because, growing up, we used to only pray when shit was going bad.
For sure.
That's something that I had to grow out of. So now I pray thanking God for the things that I have on a daily basis.
For sure.
I make sure to do that. You feel me? So, but I think people are more fond of having their own relationship with God than actually attending a physical church.
Yeah, let me just chime in right here.
Chime in.
The church is the only place where we say they talk about me. I ain't going back to that place. I don't understand that rhetoric. Because you can talk about me at my job. I'm not coming there for you.
You gotta go to your job.
Now, let me draw the line of distinction. The church should be a judgment-free zone. It should be a place. It's a hospital for the sick. I believe that unequivocally. However, the church receives so much scrutiny, but we don't. And see, one of the things about my ministry is I brag on the church. The black church saved me, kept me out the streets. So I'm saying I'm in the streets, but I went all the way in the streets.
Yeah.
The church did that for me. Now, are there some things that's wrong in the church? Yes, just like anywhere. But we gotta demolish the whole narrative where I'm not going because they talking about me. They talk about people everywhere. You went to work this morning. You gonna go to that club? Come on, somebody.
Yeah. That's all I got. Can I get a
I think nobody. I think nobody wants to feel judged, right? And I don't think that's the only problem. I think you have a situation where, like, okay, if you go in for a checkup, you talk about the hospital, Church's hospital. If you go in for a checkup, right, and your doctor says, for example, your blood pressure is high or your cholesterol is high, is he judging you? Or is he telling you this is what will happen if you don't do that? People, to your point, don't say my doctor, he judging me. He's saying my BMI too high, I'm obese. I got to drink more water.
That's a great
Do
point.
I not go back to the doctor? And I think when you subscribe to a religion and you want to subscribe to the rules, laws, or however you want to explain it of that religion, and the pastor or deacon, whoever's responsibility is to remind you of those rules, right? Then what are we doing it for? What I think a bigger problem is, I think people have, and I really think this is the internet more than the church. I don't think the church has changed much over the years.
No.
I think the perception of the church has changed because of the internet.
Yes,
and I think people like, the church is crazy. I've been seeing crazy stuff happen in church my whole entire life.
Exactly.
Or you hear stories of crazy stuff. We just didn't all have a device to record that stuff and a way to disseminate that information to the world.
Pre-social media age.
Pre-social media, you just be like, man, at church today, like my first church jokes was just repeating what happened at church to people who were there.
Yeah.
Like Sister Daniel shout, she flipped over, her stocking was showing. We all saw that.
Right.
But if we had a media team and that was going live and you could go home and watch that, people would have been like, the church has changed, the church is wrong. I think what has happened more in my life, people have forgotten how Jesus actually acted. Jesus' whole thing was to go out to save the lost. And he spent his time with the miscreants, the sinners, the people that the world had cast away. That's who he spent the majority of his time with. Now they'll tell you, as a Christian, don't go out with those people, don't hang out with those people. How are you supposed to spread the gospel?
Yeah.
I think we spend more time with other church people competing for who can look the most saved than we do actually going out and trying to reach people. And I think that's a bigger problem than judge or not.
I was teaching my ministry this. I was talking about this. There's going to be so many people on the day of judgment that's going to be surprised that they didn't make it in. It's going to be so many people that just know, well, I go to church and I do this and I do that. But they base it upon a religious perspective. Well, I go to church, I do this, but you didn't never accept them in your heart.
Yeah.
You never loved them. Okay, this person might drink, they might smoke, but you judge somebody in your heart. God look at that as a sin. And the thing that has to become important for us is that we have to keep the main thing. Like, people come to church, they make the pastor the superstar, they make the this and that. The only superstar, viewers, listen. The only superstar in the church is Jesus. The only superstar, my camera. The only superstar we got in the church is Jesus. That's all I'm saying. And everybody be honest. That's what I'm thinking about my ministry. I'm very transparent with people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I fall down. Salvation, when you get saved, you don't go to be perfect. After salvation is sanctification. That's the process of God cleaning you up day after day. You ain't gonna stop being a hoe if you was a hoe for 10 years in one day.
No, you got a little bit of everything.
Listen, listen. Because I'm in the process right now. I'm trying to get rid, like what you said. You're not gonna stop being a hoe because in one day. I'm trying to stop eating red meat. Yeah. Right. But I still got some oxtails in the fridge that's left over.
Well, you can shoot them my way if you don't want them.
No, they gone. They was gone last night. But I'm not gonna eat no more red meat after I eat them oxtails. For sure. Let me get them oxtails out the way. Then we can start. Okay?
Right.
You feel me? But it's a process for everything. But I feel like people do need to kind of enjoy that process and give that process time. Because just because it didn't work the first day, okay, God still love you.
Yeah, for sure.
You're still loved.
Yeah.
Like, he's not gonna cast you out. There are things that I'm doing now that's like, okay, brother, like, hey, okay, I'm trying my best.
But here's one other thing too. I think that because you have a church culture, people that subscribe to church hurt, when you get people that are church hurt, they'll leave their church on a rogue assignment and they'll start their own church. Now, what do you think happens when hurt people start churches?
A cult.
So a lot of that has to be considered. The church is the only place where people can become a pastor and they go through no evaluation. This is like a real serious job here. It's not, you can say you're a doctor, you got to go through evaluations, a lawyer, you got to go through bar, but a pastor, you know what I'm saying? So anybody can become a self-proclaimed pastor, and that's the gift and the curse of social media. You get that phone, self-proclaimed.
Well, even before social media.
Yeah.
Your daddy's church, your daddy died.
Now
It's
you
your
become the
church
pastor.
now. You don't. You might not be trained or want to be the pastor, but this is my dad at church.
Yeah.
It's my dad at house.
Then my dad.
Look, little Sammy didn't want to be no pastor.
He didn't want to.
He didn't
And that's
want
why
to be
that vampire scratched him.
Listen, facts or cap? You can't be truly funny without being a little offensive. Facts or cap?
Okay, so I think that's true, but not in the way you probably think. Mm-hmm. Anything can be offensive.
I agree.
To people, right?
Yeah.
Bill Cosby's comedy approach was super, and I use the word offensive, like people don't like it. They're put off by it, that version of offense. I found that if you like hood comedy, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. If you like hood comedy, a lot of cussing, and you didn't come from a nuclear family, people don't like nuclear family safe comedy, right? Like Bill Cosby's comedy there was no vulgarity, there was no cussing, nothing like that. Just the appearance of you got your life together can be offensive. Yeah. I remember one of my homegirls, Shima Franklin, said this one time. She was like, "Yeah, just got his little life together." She was joking. He got his little wife that he loved. He got his little kids. Got his little house. He got the dog. You know what I'm saying? Like people can see it like that.
Yeah.
But as far as your comedy approach, I don't think you have to seek to offend people to be funny.
Yeah,
I
the
think
edge humor is whack.
I think there's so many different versions of comedy. You could just be, Gallagher go out there and smash watermelons.
Yeah.
Carrot Top goes out there with props.
Yeah.
Bill Burr makes you want to think. George Carlin makes you want to think. They speak truth to power. Tony Baker is gonna go here and talk about bugs or bread or clowns. He's not seeking to offend, and he's one of the most hilarious people ever. He's not punching down. I think a lot of comedians do believe that, though.
Yeah.
They believe that you got to be, if you ain't trying to piss people off, you're not laughing. I don't subscribe to that.
Yeah.
I think you can be silly and still be funny. You don't have to seek to offend, but anything can be offensive if somebody wants to be.
Yeah. I got the Sirius app. I listen to the comedy stations on my in the car, and sometimes it does get to the point where the humor is even like, bro, it's not even funny. Like,
No,
and it's not. And people get so mad online specifically.
Yeah.
Like if they do some weird shit, and it's like, oh, you feelings? No, bro, it's just not funny.
It's just not a funny joke.
It's not funny.
And it's not because people are soft. It's because you ain't worked it out well enough.
Like,
you're just saying something for shock value.
Yeah.
You're like, well, it's fun. It's not, though. There was no punchline.
There was nothing. You just wanted to, like...
You just want to say something mean.
Like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And
Briefly, though, I will say this. I think that preaching is comparable to being a comedian because you can agree with this. I'm sure that it's presentation. You got jokes that you would have, just like me as a preacher. I got certain things I know I would say that if I got to set it up the right way.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So what would you say to that in terms of having, because I've been preaching 19 years. How long have you been a comedian? Long time.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
I don't really know exactly the moment I said, hey, I'm a comedian, but I'd say at least 10 years.
Because I watch it, like your
12 years.
presentation, like your point, like, because you'll set up a joke.
Yeah.
And I think that is something to play into that. Just like I know some young preachers, they might want to go right to the hoop. Well, you ain't laid down.
Yeah.
And the old folks say, you want to give me gravy?
Yeah.
I ain't got no meat. We don't want gravy without no meat.
yeah, like, and there are certain things, like even in music, because somebody, even like when era, we've heard reference tracks for certain songs. You can hear Drake could have a hit. Or Kendrick could have a hit, Future could have a hit, and you hear a reference track for that same song, it's not gonna hit the same way.
Absolutely.
And it's the same way with comedy. Like you have to set things up, you have to deliver it the right way, and that's what the great comedians do.
Absolutely.
Like yourself,
for sure.
Yes. So let me get into one of my other topics. Let me do another one. Yeah. All right. So I got something called "What the Hell ATL." So for a city as southern, and everybody say Atlanta's nice, is decent, and churchy, Atlanta has a very Sodom and Gomorrah reputation for some reason.
Does it really?
Facts.
Yeah.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Strong language.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
So like, why do you think we have that reputation down here?
In Atlanta?
Yeah, in Atlanta, in the city.
For one, this is a city where a lot of transients come here. So a lot of times when I talk to people about Atlanta, I'm like, you can't accurately say that that's a representation of Atlanta. That's somebody that's from somewhere else. But secondly, people just want to do what they want to do. You know, people want to live how they want to live. And I mean, you know, I don't judge anybody. Everybody can subscribe to live how they want to live, but it is absolutely Freaknik 2.3.4.0. It goes down here, but it ain't just here. But Atlanta is one of those central places where people look
love
at it
to
because
come to Atlanta.
they do. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
it's
gonna
a
make
great
it in
city to
Atlanta.
come.
Yeah.
If you are a hustler, you can make it in this city. And I'm from the South Side, College Park.
Yeah.
College Park, as we
same.
affectionately say.
Yeah.
You know, you can make it if you hustle. But back to your original question, I don't know. I just think people want to do what they want to do. They're young. They want to kind of be loose and licentious. I have to pull out my biblical word.
That's a biblical word.
Hello,
there.
somebody.
Hello.
Say something. Somebody.
Yeah, about you. What you think, though, bro?
I didn't know Atlanta had that reputation. I think.
So what do you think of Atlanta? What do you think of?
I mean, I think of, you know, the black mecca.
Yeah.
To me, that's the first thing I think of. Like, I live in LA and I live in the Valley, so there's not a huge amount of black people there. Right. So when I come to Atlanta, I just soak up the blackness, the richness of the culture. For
sure.
You know, oxtail grits. I had that today.
Wow.
They don't got that in Atlanta. I mean, they ain't got that in LA.
Yeah.
They got that in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Cornbread fried chicken. Right? Amen.
You can probably find some deep fried oxtail if you go to the right, you know.
Probably
like
in
that.
Atlanta.
Yeah, probably.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably the first thing I think of. I probably think of music, culture, you know what I'm saying, fashion.
Yeah.
I don't think about Sodom and Gomorrah, though.
I think social media got a lot to do with a lot of things.
It does, because
I'm
a lot of
telling
it
you.
is put online.
And people don't understand that the world is so much bigger than social media.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of people will be failed, bro, for real. Like, if we took social media out of here, a lot of people wouldn't have nothing.
I wouldn't have nothing.
I mean, I wouldn't say that because I wouldn't say that. You would figure it out. I know what I'm
No,
saying.
I feel you, though.
But you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are carbon copies of others. That's why you see this crash out, I call it crash out spirit in Atlanta, even with the shootings.
Yeah.
You know, because the other thing that I do outside of being a pastor is I'm a mortician, George Worrell Enterprises. I have my own mortician business. And, you know, what are we seeing here? Crash outs. They doing so because they see other people doing it.
People
And
are
I mean,
like,
it's
like,
crazy.
damn, ain't nobody got nothing to live for?
You know, I mean, they're like, this is a game. Like, you can respawn. No, you dead. And your mama is sitting across from me crying while you got a hole in your head. That's sad, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's true, though.
You get like that in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But, you know, it's that new Atlanta,
We
though.
opening your eyes to a different side of it.
It's the new Atlanta, though. You hear what I'm saying, Kel? It's the new Atlanta.
The pearls is clutched.
You got old Atlanta, you got new Atlanta.
It's interesting because I used to spend summers here. My grandma lived in Stone Mountain, and I'd be here with my cousins.
East side.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, like the fondest memories. We used to get dropped off at like the dollar movies, and they would drop us off at 10 and come back at like 5.
That's back when you didn't have to pre-order your movie.
Nah, we was just roaming around.
Every summer
Bruh,
pop coming out.
we
Movie coming out.
watched Dumb and Dumber, Losing Isaiah,
Magic
Children of the
Johnson.
Corn
Losing Isaiah is
in the
crazy.
same day.
Magic Theater.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't hear about that
Touchdown,
much.
Southside, Tulsa Anyway.
Oh my God. I went to the Swatch to watch movies.
Yeah.
Anywho. So, you're married.
I'm married.
Happily married.
Happily married.
Beautiful.
A lot of people, myself included, aren't. It's tough out here, Kev.
Yeah, I feel bad for y'all. I really do.
Well,
What?
I was married. I'm divorced.
I pray for y'all.
What the hell? What the hell?
Every situation different. No marriage
Everybody
is
said,
created
listen, we're not judging nobody's
We
situation.
listen and we don't judge.
But why do you feel like in this current generation of men and women, people are leaning away from traditional marriage?
Ooh, I mean,
Well, okay, you probably ain't gonna like this answer, Big
Oh,
homie.
brother.
No, you ain't gonna like this answer. But this is what I honestly feel. I think most of marriage in prior years was successful because women didn't have as many options as they have now. Right? The society was designed. I mean, there's a stat, I believe women couldn't get their own credit cards until like the early 80s.
Yeah.
Couldn't get their own bank account until the 60s. You couldn't, the scar of divorce, she couldn't get a job. So 40, 50, 60 years ago, I mean, you go back to the Bible days, women were traded like property.
yeah,
Yeah.
Marriage,
subhuman.
you take my daughter, give me 10 goats. Like, and she's for children
Yeah.
to help you. Literally, 10 goats. And I need you
That's a
to
lot of
have these
oxtail.
kids so we can work this farm. Right? So
Yeah, on something.
you ain't gonna be able to get rid of that red meat, big homie. I ain't gonna tell you. If you do, it's gonna be tough.
I'm trying.
But I think as time has progressed, women have been able to go to college, get educated. Black women are the most educated people in the United States.
They are.
They're able to get paid, right? And now you just being a man ain't enough to be a marriage.
And men ain't adjusted.
And men have not had to adjust. And you see when people argue online, that's what's wrong with women today. You gonna end up with cats. As a mortician, right? There's a girl in death. This whole conversation happened on Twitter, and somebody in the death care industry was like, by and large, women don't be found after 2-3 weeks dead. Like, women got communities, whether they're married or not.
Yeah,
their friends come check on you. Their kids come check on you. The people who end up dead for 2-3 weeks, that's men. So men tend to project what they think will happen to women, which is actually going to happen to them. I'll give you a perfect example. I've been married 21 years. I remember what I thought marriage was going to be and what it even was early in my marriage and what it is now to maintain my marriage. There was a level of vulnerability that I had to develop in year 12 to 21, 15 to 21, that I didn't have to do early on. And my personal opinion, a lot of times men, our big thing is we want to impress other men more than the woman that we're with.
You know what?
That's a good point.
He's on to something, because I see a lot of people, like specifically men online, talking about what they aren't going to do for their woman. Oh, I would never do that. I would never. Like, so you telling me if a woman asks that likes you and you like her, ask you for some lunch money right now, you're not gonna do it. But let your homeboy ask you.
1,000%.
But my thing is, you got to first, let's back up here, because I was married for 7 years, almost 7 years, and I will be married again. I believe in marriage. I believe in the institution of marriage.
Absolutely.
Marriage is beautiful, and I'm going to go somewhere else with this, but let me say this. A lot of people are more infatuated with weddings than they are marriages.
That's facts.
Okay, pause for a second. Let that marinate for a few ticks.
Yeah.
People like that big look. They want that big show. But the marriage, the aesthetic, but not the alignment. I don't want aesthetic. I want alignment. I want assignment. I want to be aligned to who I want. You know, to who God had called me to be with. So, and then secondly, when you see people out here, that dating marketability, okay, I'm going to sound a little bit like Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to the OG. You know, people are kind of, like, they not thinking when it comes down to, like, baby, if you over 38 years old, you can be as successful as you want to be, but no woman want to go home and have to take that trash out. She don't want to go home and sleep in that bed by herself. She doesn't want that. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the market is real pissy in the water. I will say
I hear that a lot.
There's some doo-doo in there, too.
Some doo-doo?
A little
Because
vomit.
in Atlanta, I'm going to be honest with you, in Atlanta, what you got to be cautious of is, one, women that play games, then two, women that deal with men. No shot to anybody in that community that's down low. I respect the person, even as a pastor. If you are that and identify as such, be open with it. Here's the problem with Atlanta, the down low community. You got heterosexual women sleeping with men that are seemingly heterosexual, but they are down low. So all of this convolution, it's just a lot that goes to that. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna yield the floor. I just feel that marriage, we have to get back to that, because I took my kids went back to school on Monday. My son started 9th grade high school. When I tell you, you can tell that people not getting married no more. Kids are lost. The clothing that they wear, egregious. I'm talking about, I don't know if they're interviewing to be the next streetwalker. Are you finna get on the Blade? Are you going out? Are you trying to go to Howard? Which one are we working here? So we need the presence, especially in the black and brown community. We gotta push marriages and whatnot. So that's all. I mean, I really feel like we need it, because when I be telling my son, when I'm disciplining him, he want to hang out with these different guys. I find out they don't have no daddy. You got a daddy, so the way I parent you is different as a present father. So I think that question is a real loaded, because it goes to so many other problems in our community. You know what I'm saying? When we were coming up, our parents were married. We knew somebody in our family that was married. We seen a struggle. It wasn't easy, but being single, hell ain't easy either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it ain't.
Yeah.
You the certified side piece. You just don't know it. We're going to pray for you.
Yeah.
In Jesus' name.
Absolutely. Listen, Churchy.
Yeah.
That's hard too, bro.
Talk to us about it, man.
Churchy is, the second season of the show I created on BET. This season is...
That you created!
That's too hard, man. That's too hard, Kel.
Bigger,
For sure.
funnier, there's more episodes. It's amazing, man. We've got even more talent. Even more talented actors, bigger cameos. It is better in every single way.
It is.
It is better in every single way. And there's not only, but there's 10 episodes, 20, 22, 23 minutes. You can spend a Saturday afternoon, watch the whole thing.
Episodes of streaming in the streets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
17, 10. You know, we have to 18 episodes, man.
Yeah.
It's hard in these streets. So, no, I think it's a show that is representative of my life. You know, obviously fictionalized.
Yeah.
But it's made with love. You know, I'm a black church kid through and through. And you know, this season is about Corey trying to save the church from going under.
Okay.
So, which is, you will let people tell it. Every person, and you probably know this, every pastor's rich, stealing from the church, stealing money. That's not the case.
Absolutely.
95% of the churches in America have less than 100 members.
Yeah, that's another thing I don't like, how the black churches, the gauge is the biggest and the
4 or
most.
5 biggest churches in the world.
Like in Atlanta, I think we have is World Changers and
You got a lot of New Birth. You got a
New
lot
Birth.
of
yeah.
But I'm gonna say 2 things to that. One, in the South, that's because they had civil rights meetings and stuff at those churches.
Yeah.
To mobilize the movement. But I think COVID have really changed the whole
1000%.
trajectory of church. I mean, there's really no such thing as a mega church anymore.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, the
COVID
playing
sped
field
up.
have been like, to me, as a pastor, I'm a church planting pastor. Okay, so let's explain what that means for your viewers. If you plant a church, that means nobody gave it to you. It's akin to bootstrapping the business.
Mm-hmm.
You starting from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? That's what my ministry, Kingdom Life Training Center Incorporated, that's who we are. That's what we are. The other way is you can inherit a church. Now you can inherit the deacons and them micromanaging you as well and all that other stuff. Kel, I'm sure you know about that.
Yeah.
But I believe that now that the playing field have been leveled. Well, you know, people are coming to. I get people that come to my church because they feel lost in the big church.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with a big church either, too. I tell you, as long as they doing big ministry.
Yeah,
big church can only be called big church unless you're doing big ministry.
What's big ministry?
Like giving to the community. I mean, offering aid to the widows. I mean, doing what the Bible said in the book of Acts when it talked about the first century church. They went and sat with the widows. They went and gave back. You know, being the church, not just say, come here, pay your tithe, but we want to give back to the community. Put programs in place. You understand what I'm saying?
So that's what the big churches need to be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, all churches.
Absolutely.
Because we are part of the church. There's only one celebrity. I told you what's his name. God. Jesus, the biggest, the largest,
the biggest,
yeah.
the biggest homie,
the biggest homie. I like it.
The biggest homie, big homie Jesus. Yeah. Listen, before we get up out of here, like I know one of the things that the church leans on is forgiveness. All right, and depending on how you look at it, Hulk Hogan just died. And people are upset at black people for not being sad about this shit.
Yeah.
Am I wrong for not giving a damn? Like,
I think here's how I've
because
thought about
Metro
this.
Boomin just caught hell for like putting his post up. And
what did
he say?
He said, R.I.P. to Hulk Hogan, you were the greatest. I'm like, I don't give a damn.
Well, I think when you die, right, and you know, you in the
mortician.
The mortician,
absolutely,
your legacy is the totality of your life.
Yeah.
Right? So Hulk Hogan is more than one thing, right? So for us 80s kids, 90s kids, for many of us, he was our first biggest favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
Right? He was, I didn't realize at the time he was designed to be, but be that as it may. I was a Hulkamaniac. I'll just speak for myself. I was trying to tear my shirts off, getting whooped. We don't have enough shirts to be tearing them off, right? I had the little Hulk Hogan plushie. Remember the little, the little arm?
Yeah, big ass arm.
When Ultimate Warrior beat him, you know what I'm saying? I was there, right? So on one hand, wrestling would not be as big as it is without Hulk Hogan. On the same hand, he admitted that he stopped the wrestlers from creating a union. So wrestlers would have had an easier time if it weren't for Hulk Hogan, right? So, and the things he said about black people on more than one occasion, you don't necessarily just start feeling bad about somebody because they passed away if they didn't treat you well in life.
Absolutely.
And I think so. And Metro Women don't, subscribe to that. I'm not in the business of telling somebody else how to feel.
Yeah.
But I think you are within your right if you. Man, I miss Hulk Hogan. He never did nothing to me.
Yeah.
But if you feel like I don't miss him at all, I think you can be right too.
Please, a brief interjection. I just think that with all people bigger than Hulk Hogan, I study a lot. Francis Cress Welsing, Neely J. Fuller. We have to know what fight belongs to us, and we volunteer our forces for things that don't serve our good. Like what does that even have to do with me? You understand what I'm saying? That don't serve our people, our good. We still got people in our hoods that's making money off our people. Look, you'll never find an Asian coming to Big Daddy's, but you find black people go to Chinese restaurants all the time. What am I trying to show you? Go back to economics. And so it's about us standing on code as a people, fighting our fight. We don't care. Okay, rest in peace. But we have to fight with we have to fight what matters for us. I think that's what matters for that.
Absolutely.
We get off code fighting other this and fighting that. Fight what we need to fight that benefits us as a people.
Absolutely. So to wrap it up, I don't give a damn about no Hulk Hogan.
At all.
But that is another episode of the Big Homies House. We got Big on the Kevonstage in the building.
Bang.
Hey man, the YM pastor.
Yeah, man.
Pastor George Worrell.
Come on now.
My brother,
The biggest.
Southside.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate,
We went from YN to YM.
Let's get it, man. That's another with your homies, and we gone.